Hi everyone.
Good evening, welcome. Hi, my name's Barry,
And I'm Jay.
and together we are Mitosu Crafts.
Yes, welcome to our channel. We're independent Stampin' Up demonstrators based in the UK. So if you live in the UK, France, Germany, Austria, or the Netherlands, you'll be able to purchase current Stampin' Up products from our online shop. That's why I was smiling. Tommy, I could feel Tommy going. So this is Tommy. Yes, we have 3 cats, so they might be running around during the live, but we do put out a couple of live stream per week. So if you'd love to see more card making and papercraft inspiration using Stampin' Up products, it's worth subscribing to our channel and to see waggling cattails. Hi, Mandy. So let's just say hello to people who have been waiting. Thank you so much. We have Sandra, Betty, Valerie, Steph, Mandy, Carrie. Ooh, that went up.
Where did it go to?
Maureen, Connie, Lyndall, and Christine, and
Deborah,
San.
Sam.
Hi,
You're
thank
all
you so
coming in
much.
now.
Yes. So if you are popping on, do pop in a comment during the live chat, and we will put you into the random draw at the end of the live stream. Also, if you're watching the replay, do pop in a comment on the video as well, and we'll put you to the random draw at the end on our next live stream. So it's worth noting that you need to log in onto your Google account onto YouTube to be able to see the live chat as well as comment as well.
Yes, that's it.
Yes, so for the random draw that we'll be doing in a second, we'll be giving out this card that I created on Wednesday using the right triangle bundle from the annual catalog by Stampin' Up, with the In Good Taste embellishment as well there, and family party. I nearly said family portrait.
Yeah.
So the FMP.
So get your comment in quickly if you want to before I refresh it. You've probably got about a minute to get your comment in on the previous video. It's a thing. Currently, there's only 11 comments on it, so and it's the same people every single week. So, Sherry, it's probably coming to you, or Connie, or Joanne.
Maureen was
Maureen.
there as well.
Yeah, it's
cool.
yeah. So if you'd like to win it, make sure you, as Jay says, comment on this feed for the live one now, and then go back and then comment on it. Or you can even do it now as well. You are able to put the comments in underneath, so in the live and in the normal feed as well. More of you are in it. You've got to be in it to win it.
Yes.
So
Cool.
yes. So you got me for 2 cards tonight.
Yes.
So
Barry didn't like my idea. She'll have it on Wednesday. No, I'm kidding.
So we're going to be well, I'm gonna do a simpler one, and then I'm going to step it up a little bit. So creating 2 of the same card really, but using just some more things, and yeah, go through from that. So you've got me tonight,
Yes.
which is why Jay's been doing all the talking to start off with.
Yes. So
Save my voice.
no funny words this evening, I'm afraid.
No what words?
I'm not gonna say it. Maybe later. So yes. So Barry will be showcasing.
Oh, you've got to say some funny words.
Later on.
Betty wants to hear your funny words.
Later when I'm not on screen, and I'm not smiling because that just makes it worse. Yes. So
Mum, what do you want him to say?
Barry will be demonstrating some more cards using the Curvy Christmas and the Classic Christmas, the Demonstrators paper, and using the dice. Are you using the dice? Yes, the curvy dice. The Quite Curvy bundle is from the new mini catalog in 2021, but it's been released early, so it is available now. And the Curvy Christmas, it's all the names.
Yeah,
The Curvy Christmas is available until the end of December.
Mum wants you to say a word there.
Yeah, later. Anyway, we'll do the random draw now.
So I think we've had one more comment come through.
Ooh, well
So I
done.
think that was Jeanette. I think you just got the one that got in there at the last minute.
Do you
There is
wanna,
12 there now. Yeah. So.
Look how clean that table.
And the winner of this card is going to
Good
be
luck.
Betty.
Congratulations.
That card is coming to you, Betty. Excellent.
Yes, congratulations, Betty. Do email us at barryandj@mitosocrafts.com and we'll send that as soon as possible.
Yes. So yeah, Jeanette, sorry. Yeah, we saw yours last one come through, but yeah, you got to be in it to win it. So yes, as Jay said, Betty, message us. Even though you may have messaged us previously, we do need another.
It's really lovely.
We do need another email from you. Make sure, yeah, please do. Excellent.
Yes.
All right. Before we go, I'm just going to flip you around and show you the computer screen again. So on your, just going to let you know, you can put your comments in here. This is where you're writing your live comments right now. And this is where we will be taking the names for the random draw. So this part right here. If you want to then win the second card, which we make, you need to put your comments in the bottom part over on this one here. So currently we've got 0 comments here. So if I go back to like the previous one, you can then write your comments in down in this one here, and this is where we will then be taking the names for the second card we make. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out to you again. So on tonight's video, this is where you are, and then this is where you want to write it for the second drawing, which we do in a couple of days' time. Okay, so good. So let's just continue flipping around and go through from there. So, as mentioned, let's just have a little look so I can see what I'm doing. It won't allow you to write yet. Okay, maybe. Okay, maybe it doesn't last for me. I thought it would allow you to write. Maybe it. It allows me to write for some reason, but maybe it's me. Maybe it's because it's my channel. So that's what I just figured it would be the same for everybody. But that's where you go in and you go and write afterwards. Okay. So as mentioned, Jay has already said we are going to be working with the Curvy Christmas. So we're just giving Christmas a bit of a last push, because it is obviously nearing December. So most of you have probably either already got your Christmas cards either made, or you've still got a few more to make. So we still want to give you a few ideas, and obviously the Curvy Christmas Stamp Set is still available, and it is still available until the end of this catalogue period. So it will be available until the 4th of January, which is when the next catalogue comes out. Can you pass me the catalogue, Jay, because I can show the front cover. So when the next catalogue comes out, so this will be out on the 5th of January. So this stuff is still currently available until this one is available for purchase. So we wanted to give it another final push, just give you any more ideas how to use it up. And again, I'm going to be using some designer series paper, so I bet all of you have got paper coming out your ear holes. Like we have. We've got this whole pack of paper here, and it's hardly been used. And I need to tote with it. So some simple cards today. Obviously, you're going to be able to make the cards I'm going to make today. You're going to be able to make loads of them using this paper, but at least it might give you a little bit of an idea on how to use it. And you can use the layout which I'm using for anything else as well, because the dies, the curvy dies, will be carrying over into next year anyway, into the new mini catalogue. It's just a stamp set which isn't going to be available, so you've got the quite curvy stamp set with the curvy dies which are carrying over. So yeah, but obviously, and this paper is going to be retiring as well at the end of Christmas. So we want you to use your paper. Sorry, I'm just seeing some comments coming through. So yeah, so this, and I love this paper. It's what's it called? A classic Christmas, and they are what I would class as your traditional Christmas colours. So you've got your green and your red, and you've got your neutral with your Sahara sand in here as well. So it's cherry cobbler, Sahara sand, and shaded spruce, and then with a wisp of white is your dots. So that's what we're going to be using. And yeah, that's it. So let's just have a little look at some comments. So all of you, welcome. You have to wait 12 hours to write after a video go live. Okay, all right, thank you, Steph. I didn't realise that. I've just figured it. You could just write away. But I've shown you where it is. So 12 hours, so tomorrow morning. for us. What else have we got there? Kathy, not only catching you live, you're watching me on the TV. Wow, that's big. It's just when we're turned around now and you're not seeing our faces big on TV, but you might have done to start off with, but depending on when you come in. We'll warn you before we flip the camera around again then, just so you don't get a scare at the end. And what did you say? I want everything new in the catalogue. First order going on Tuesdays. Like, wow, Steph, that's a big order. Yes. Can you give me your email again? Yes, I'll just write. Jay will write the email up for you and pop it. Oh, he's done it. There it is. It's right there for you. So yeah, that's that. So let's crack on. Can I have some Whisper White thick, please, Jay? And a trimmer. I thought I had it. No.
Here, because I was waiting for your instructions.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. So I have got some Whisper White thick. And I'm going to cut this down to our normal card size. So we cut ours down to 14.6 centimetres. Which is 5 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to do 2 of these because we're going to be making 2 cards tonight. So I may as well get 2 ready. So 14.6 or 5 3/4. And then score that at 10.5, which is 4 1/8 of an inch. So 10.5 centimetres or 4 1/8. And there we go. We've got our 2 card bases ready for you already. So yeah, so the paper, I'm going to pick a cherry cobbler. So I'm probably I like the one with the stars, and I'm going to use the one with the green. So I'm going to use the green polka dots, or I might even use the green sprig, the sprigs. I'm not sure what side at the moment. I'm probably going to go with the polka dots. Going to be using the cherry cobbler, but I want the cherry cobbler to be in these stars. So I'm going to take my stars, okay, and I am then going to have my sprigs in Sahara Sand. So they are the colours which I am using, the piece of paper I am using. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my stars down to size. So we always go 5mm, or our normal thing is 5mm lower than the card base. So it is 10.5, so we're going to go 10 centimetres.
Say that because I keep changing mine.
Oh, okay, yeah. When I do my cards, I always go 5mm lower than the thingy. When Jay does his cards, listen to his instructions because he will change depending on what mood he is in. So, yes. If he's in a thin mood, then he'll go probably 3mm. If he's in a fat mood, he'll go 5mm. So...
Or 6.
Or 6 now. We've got extra large now. So we've got a 3, 5, or a 6. So small, medium, or large. I normally go with 5mm or 3mm. It depends on how big I want it to be. So, but for my first layer, it's going to be 5mm lower, which will always then give you a nice white border around the whole thing. Okay, and I like things to look pleasing to the eye, because I know it will. If you get one side which is slightly thinner than the other side down here, you can see it. So I've got to try and make sure that everything is even. It's just got to be pleasing to the eye. With the green, so the shaded spruce, I'm going to take this to 1 centimetre. So which is, what will that be? That's going to be about 3/8 of an inch, just over 3/8 of an inch. So I'm going to take that to 1 centimetre. So I'm just going to trim off 2 1 centimetre strips. So you're going to be able to make loads of this type of card. If you like this style, you're going to be able to make loads of it. But at least you're using your paper. And we're going to take this to 14.1 because that was what I cut that one down to over here. So it's the same height, 14.1. So who has got lots and lots of paper sitting around at home on your shelf not used, or are you good and actually use your papers? We've been quite good this year, I think, Jay, haven't we, with our papers? We've used, I think we've actually made a big dent. So much so that we have actually had to brought second or even third packets of papers because we have actually done quite well. So I'm quite chuffed with that. I'm going to take this one here, which is the Sahara sand, and this is going to be taken to 5 centimeters, which is just under 2 inches. So you can either take it to 2 inches or 1 15/16, but it's 5 centimeters. And then that way you know that you can get, if you keep it at least to 2 inches or less than 2 inches, you will be able to get 3 of these out from your piece of paper, because obviously you've got 2, 4, 6. So you'll be able to make plenty of these. And then we've got that one, which is going to go like this. Oh, and I do need to just cut that down to 14.1.
Is it still wobbling?
No, it is a little bit, but we've got a wobbly table.
You don't keep wobbling me.
Sorry, so Jay's just trying to sort out the wobble. I've been trying to sort out the wobble for years. If only it was that simple. Put a bit of paper underneath, it would be perfect. Okay, all right. So what I'm going to do in this one here is I'm going to pop a thin layer of glue along one edge here. Now again, I'm being quite careful with how much I put down. I don't want it to be too much. So what I'm going to put a bit of scrap paper. Good, well done, Anita. Yeah, I think we made that. And what I'm going to try and do as well is what we've got left over with our paper this year, and I've said this to my mum today or recently, with what we've got, our paper, what we've got left over for Christmas, instead of it going in a packet and then forgotten about until next year and then going, oh, but I've got loads of Christmas papers from last year, I'm going to make, well, the plan is, if I say it, then I've got to do it. I'm going to make next year's Christmas cards with this year's product, okay, with this year's papers and stamp sets. Put them in a file and then put them away for next year. And I can even do it in January, I can do that. And then I've got next year's, and then I've used up all of this year's papers, I've used all of this year's stamp sets, and I've got the best out of it. Come next year, I won't feel so guilty about buying new stuff because I have still got stuff from this year left over. That's my thinking anyway. So who's going to get behind me? Who's going to make next year's Christmas cards with this year's stuff? And if you get into that pattern, then next year you can do exactly the same thing. You can make the year later's Christmas cards with next year's product, and I say not feel guilty about using it. So just sit there and use it all up. Yeah. Yeah, good point there, Anita. You can, yeah, it's also good for mailing early as well. We need to get ahead of our mailings. We need to mail some stuff out, and the cut-off dates, I think we need to send a couple to New Zealand and Australia, and the cut-off dates, Jay, is the 4th of December for New Zealand and Australia.
What do you want to say about orders?
Well, the cut deadline.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Jay's just reminded me as well, whilst we're talking about deadlines, Stampin' Up has said that again, they can't guarantee anything. What with the whole COVID-19 situation at the moment, they can never guarantee anything with deliveries, but they're saying orders before the 9th of December should be okay for Christmas delivery. Anything after the 9th of December, they can't guarantee it. The chances are it may not turn up in time for Christmas. So if you are thinking of buying stuff for Christmas, gifts for somebody, get your orders in ASAP, and you should receive it before Christmas time. I'm going to use the word should because you never know with that postages happening at the moment. but the chances are you have more chance of receiving it pre-Christmas if you order it before the 9th of December than you would do if you order it after the 9th of December. Okay, so that's it. So we've got this one here, so back on with this one. So this one's, the, as I say, is the simple version. And then I'm going to do another version of this card, but I'm going to step it up a little bit as well for you. So that's going to go down. What's that? Good idea, be doing that. Same here, trying to use up all of my Snowflake DSP. Yeah, we've got lots of Snowflake DSP. Because that's the one which we've actually used the most, and we've actually brought 2 or 3 packets of it. So, but we've still got, I think our 3rd packet we need to make a big dent into. I have trouble doing that. I always want it into. Yeah, or you can donate some stuff as well. But donate some designer series paper with some handmade cards as well. That would be nice, and they can actually see what you've done with it. So I'm going to pop that to one side. I like things to be slightly off center. Just, yep, that works. And that's that one there. And then that one there will then just get matte and layered onto that one. Right here. No, that's too much. Too much. I'm going to keep it with the whites and the cherry cobbler. So how's everyone's weekend been? Have you had a nice one? And that one there is going to go. Down there, like just like that. That's it. That one there. Just grab my bone folder. And we'll just fold and burnish this. So it's starting to take shape already. So just some simple layouts and you can get yourself, use up your designer series paper and just do a layout like this. You could do this with anything and it's sorted. It's nice and easy. So what we're going to... Oh, sorry.
I'm kidding. I've got a mini on.
So I've got this one right here. I was going to either use the large one because I wanted this to go like this. But I cut the larger one out and then I cut a small, and then on my prototype I cut a smaller one out because I wanted to see what the larger one looked like. Now that was, for me, was too large, so I'm going to go with the next one down. But instead of cutting a whole new one out, I'm just going to use the larger one. And cut this out. And this is a good way as well. It can show you how to use these dies. So if you do cut a large one out like this, and then this is how you can make some apertures. And so this is using the stitch shapes. So you pop that back in. So you cut one out with your larger stitched. You put your smaller one in between. Hi, Cindy. What about a plain colour mat? Yes, I was thinking that, Kerry, I was actually thinking of maybe going with the Sahara sand mat, but maybe I'll do that on the second card, so I'll step it up a little bit more and bring in some more products. So do you reckon, do you think maybe a Sahara sand layer? Let me know. And I may do that next on the second card. Huh? Yeah, so that's how you would use your stitched circle dies or any of your layering dies. So you've got your squares, you've got your ovals, you've got your circles, and that's how you would make an aperture, and then you can then create your second one out. So you could even do this and then have that one sitting in and then raised up onto some dimensionals to give you another layer, or you could do this in a separate colour. And then have another contrasting colour here. So there's lots of things you can do. But so I'm going to put that to one side. I'm not going to use that today, but that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'll get Jay to make one for me, Kerry, a matte and layer up for us, and then we'll see what it looks like, I think, and make the decision from there.
Sahara sand.
Yeah, or you can just pass me some Sahara sand and I'll cut it on camera, that's fine. When I cut it all over. So I've taken my trees here from this stamp set, and I've got shaded spruce ink. And what I'm going to do is I am just going to a bit of scrap paper underneath, and I am going to stamp my row of trees in here like this. Like that. And one other thing, sorry Jay, could I have some cherry cobbler ink, please? No, it's not.
I changed my inks.
That's good. And I'm going to go with cherry cobbler ink, and I'm going to take the Merry Christmas from this stamp set. And I remembered, yeah, that's it. And I'm just going to pop Merry Christmas in there, like that. So that's that one done. And then what I've done is I've got these ones done already. So we've got some sprigs here, which has been cut out of the gold foil. And I've got 5 of these. So these are from a die. So these are from the die from the set. So if you haven't got this, again, this particular card, you don't necessarily need to have a die cutting machine. Well, you do if you want to do this one here, but you could always use circle punches. You've got a 2-inch circle punch, which again is a smaller, smaller steel, so that would go like that. So you may want to make this layer thinner if you are using the 2-inch circle punch, but the second largest stitched shape works nicely, I think, with this, because it just overlaps enough, I think, on this, which I think is nice. So that's going to go in here. And then what I'm going to do is, again, if you have got the dies for this set, you can use the sprigs which are in it to cut out some of these right here. So I'm going to go with, I've made 5. It's either 5 or 3, because I'm going to go 2 up here. And 1 down here, like that. What do we think? Should we go with just 3 of them and then go with or we've got 5? I think it's got to be uneven. It's got to be odd numbers. So we've got, huh?
I'll go for 3.
Jay's going for 3 because he's probably been stingy. I can get, or you can go. No, I actually think 5. I think 3 is better. Actually, 5 is a bit too much, I think, myself. So 3, yeah. So in the other 2, I can use for the next card. So that's how that's going to go. So I just need to now position these where I want them. So I'm going to have a little look. That's going to go like that. So I can put some glue here. And then I can then stick these. A bit more glue. So I can use tear and tape here if I wanted to. That would give me obviously give me an instant stick. It doesn't matter if it's going to look untidy underneath because it's going to get covered up anyway. So for the second part, I will.
You have mini glue dots.
Oh, okay. Or mini glue dots. That will be better. Just take one of those. Gotta take your pick tool. And then that can then go down like that. That's that one. Gonna Jay must have read my mind because I didn't get these ready. The dimensionals were on the table magically. They were just here. And we will put some of our dimensionals on the back of this. Just one in the middle. That's that one. And that's the easy version of this card completed. Right there. Like that. And that there is card number 1. So that's it. So we will now step this up and we're going to do something different. Now this could go completely and utterly pear-shaped because I haven't actually done a prototype of this one. So we will see what happens. In my head, I know what's going to happen. In reality, let's see if it happens. So let's just give myself a little bit of room. So let's just pop that there so you can keep looking so I can get myself ready. So it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same principle. It's going to be pretty much the same card, but I'm going to use now the dies. So some more dies from the curvy dies here. So you can see these are obviously what you get, like that. So we want to use the curve. So I'm going to pick those two right here. I'm not going to use the leafy one. Put those away before anything falls out. And to one side. So you can probably see where I'm going to be going with this. So we mentioned then, let's see what you think. Let's see how a layer works. So I'm going to cut my layer down to 14.1. By 10. So that will be my layer. Grab my card base. And let's just fold and burnish that one right there. So that's going to go on like that. So the paper I will use, so I can either use the same paper, or we can mix it up and we can go. I still definitely think I need a Sahara sand center part, but we could always mix this one up and we could go with a green stars and red border is how we could do it. What do you reckon? Should we go different? Should we go green? Should we go, it's kind of going to be, so the color palette will be green with a Sahara sand layer this time with some red stars. So that's kind of going to be the color palette for this one. Or should we go with the same? Should we keep it the same? And I've got this one here which has already been cut and ready. Or we can go with a red with green, like that. Could you, sorry Jake, I just dropped that strip down there. Should we go with the same colour palette? Mix it up.
Yeah, mix it.
Mix it up. So that's what we've already got. So let's mix it up and let's go green with red stripes with a layer down here. So that's it. Okay, so let's take the trimmer.
Sorry, I was cutting. There you go. Oh yeah.
Thank you. Oh. And we will cut this one down to, so we've got the Sahara sand layer, which was a 10, so we're going to go 9.5. Or do I, okay, this is where I'm going to go. I'm going to go 3mm. I'm going to go thin. So I've got 9.7. Again, if I don't like it, I can always take off the extra little bit because I've started bigger than I need. So, and then that will be, instead of being 13, that'll be. That one back there. Hi, Susan. So we've got that one, so we've got ourselves a thin layer. Do you want to go a thin layer, or do we want to go with a chunkier layer? Thin or chunky? I like putting the idea in your, but I've got to remember you can't answer me instantly. I've got to wait for it to catch up and for you to type. So I need to remember that. So a thin border, or a slightly chunkier border.
They like it.
Chunky.
Chunker.
We will go chunky. So I would then take that down to 9.5. So again, it's always easier to start off bigger. 9.5 by 13.6. There we go. I think it's the same analogy when you're cooking, isn't it? You can always add, but you can't take away. But with, I suppose it's a different analogy. You can take away on this, but you can't add to it. So it's the opposite to your cooking. So we've got ourselves a slightly, we've got ourselves a bigger border right there. And that's going to go on like that. So we have got our red and our Sahara sand here. So I'm going to now, because I've cut my measurements down slightly different, I'm going to take this one down to 13.6, so it then matches my shaded spruce designer series paper, that one right there. And the same with my red one, we'll take this one down to 13.6 as well, so everything is the same. It's the same size, okay, in this way. So on the longest edge, everything is exactly the same at 13.6. Right. That one is going to go on like that. So you'll see it, you're getting my thought process here as I go, because I haven't made this one up yet. So I need to work out how it's done. We will bring in the Suki, and basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using now the curvy dies to create a curve, but I might actually need to start off with a bigger piece actually of this one, because it's not going to be an issue for the bits going behind, because I just need the curve to be done. But I do need to try and make sure that the curve matches. So I just need to make sure that what I'm going to work with is the top end. And then when I cut that part out, it matches. So when I cut it through, I'm going to line this straight edge here up with the top. So this is where you will now get to say you're going to get to see the raw, unedited crafting live. So let's see how this works. So straight edge up the top here. And I've just remembered I didn't actually pay any attention to where the cutting edge is, so this may have actually cut. No, luckily that's cut the correct way round. I was concerned that it was going to be the other way round, and it would have given me just a tiny sliver like this. That's how I actually wanted it. So you need to make sure that the cutting edge is on the outside. So that's that part. And I need to do 2 of these. So I'm just going to then, because that's like that one, I'm then going to just turn this round and I'm going to do the same. Actually, no, that won't work. I will need 2 pieces. I will need a bigger piece of paper on this. So because of the curve, it needs to be bigger. So you will use up more of your paper when doing this, but that's good. You've got to use it. So how was everyone's Thanksgiving actually? That's been a couple of days now, hasn't it? So you're are you all still celebrating? Is it normally a couple of days celebration, or is it back to normal straight away afterwards? But I hope you had fun. Which is good. And let's do that. Put that to one side and let's see how this looks, and then see what stage we're going to go to next. My trimmer again. Thank you, Florence. Yeah, we try to. I think that's where we want to just try and be a little bit different with our videos. We want to just, instead of just showing it you nice stuff, we want to teach you, and hopefully so you can learn. And the mistakes we make, you can hopefully not make. is the plan. So I cut that down to 13.6. So I've got my 2 pieces here, and so then that there is going to fit in like that. So what I want to do is I need to poke my holes out of this first, because it's just need to release these little bits which are stuck in here, because I have already run it through a couple of times without releasing them, so any more it's going to get really wedged in there. And no, we don't save these. I'm sure Jay probably would if he could, but no, we don't. He's probably going, they make lovely shaker cards.
To be fair, I haven't done shaker cards for ages.
But these are the things you do need to be careful with, these little bits, because these rogue bits here are enough, especially if you're doing some stamping, could give you an uneven surface and ruin things, or if you're doing some sponging, will definitely give you an uneven surface and will then show through as an imprint. So just be careful when you're doing things like that you do have a clean table afterwards, because they could be a make or break for you. So I just need to slurp a tea then. So that's that. So I'm going to now do the same with the Sahara sand strip, but again I think what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to take a larger strip, because I need to compensate for the curve, to make sure everything's, so again it's better to have a slightly larger one than it is to go with a smaller. But those 2 pieces I've already got cut here will be perfect for me for creating this card again. So I've already got 2 more cards and some bits and bobs ready to create some more, so all is not lost. We have not wasted anything. So that's that. Grab my trimmer. Let's cut this down to, what was it, 13.1? So we just, sorry, 13.6. Sorry, yeah. 13.6. And see now, can we get away with doing this? Or should I just go with 2 the same? See, my mind's working now. Should I go with the filigree, or should I go with the Well, I will go with a filigree. Let's see what happens with this one here and how it actually looks. And then if we don't like it, I've got another bit of paper and I can do the dots. So I know, okay, I just need to talk you through this quickly again. So I know from my pieces which I've done here, I'm looking at it, so the curve is going this way, so I know I want my top piece to be over here. So I'm going to bring that to my, keep that to my top piece there, then technically, in theory, it should follow that curve quite nicely still. I'm probably making things so much more complicated than it needs to, but it's just my thought process. I'm so sorry. And we will then put that through. Pop that down, sandwich that in, and then run that in. So that's that one. Poke out my little holes. Scoop it onto the floor. We're lucky, we've got laminate floor in our flat. So I just sweep everything onto the floor and then tidy it up later. If we had carpet, it might be a different story. So that's that one. So that's that. So that then matches that curve perfectly. Straight edge is that one. So does that work, or does that does it need to be a straight? Does it need to be a dotted one again as well? Does it need to match? Let's see, shall we? Where's that curve? Just make sure. I've got plenty, so I'm going to just do one this side here and see what it looks like. And we can make a decision together. So you can see why this is a slightly stepped up version now, because obviously we're using the die cuts. We're using the die cuts a lot more now for this. So we're getting there definitely a lot more technical. So the decision is filigree, florally, whatever you want to call it, or dotty. Dotty and dots. See, it's not quite the same curve, but it's good. It's good enough. Like that. So dotty and dotty. Dotty dotty. Dotty dotty green. Or green dotty filigree, florally. I quite like the florally one. Do you agree with me?
Steph said filigree.
I think I go filigree as well. I wanted to see, filigree was my gut when I was first doing it, but I figured no, I wanted to see what it was like with dotty. But I think dotty filigree. Yeah, we in agreement. Dotty filigree. Dotty filigree it is. So we now need to give myself punching the holes out from this. That's it. So that's going to go that side. So we just now need to work out how big. So again, on the original card, this was 5 centimeters. So I kind of need to try and replicate that again. On this here. But obviously I couldn't use the 5 centimeter bit, which I had cut out, because the curve would have made it bigger than 5 centimeters, which is why I couldn't go with that one here. So I'm kind of following the same pattern-ish here, but it's roughly around about your 5 centimeters, give or take, pattern from the filigree to the filigree pattern, I would say, ish. So we will go like that, I reckon. Bringing that again. Sorry, Joanne. Are we convincing you? And that's going to go in like that. Just make sure I've got that cutting edge correct. Yeah. So that's going to go in like that. I will in and sandwich down. Well, okay, I'm going to show you what I do here. I just see if you can actually see this. The more you use your dies, the more bendy they're going to get. So you can see there, it doesn't quite now sit on my bit of paper perfectly. It's buckled both sides. That's natural. It happens with all dies. It's not a problem. It's not broken. It's absolutely fine. You can either use tape to tape it down. I don't use tape. I just put it down like that, get it where I want. I then put the plate in over here, and it's not touching the die yet, and then I just confidently just sandwich it down and then flatten it. That's all I'm doing. And then before I run it through the machine, I just make sure things haven't moved. This doesn't really matter too much if it's not lined up perfectly, because it doesn't really matter. But obviously if it needed to match a stamped image, then you would need to maybe tape it down. But that's, if you've got buckled dies, and don't worry about it. It just means that they're well loved. They're used. And there we have it. We have our filigree bit right here. And then these parts which we had. Yeah, I get what you mean there, Steph. So we just need to work this out. Obviously, you're going to have things which they don't quite match, but it doesn't really matter, I don't think, too much. You need to see, this is where I don't know whether or not this is going to work. It's going to kind of overlap a little bit. I might have to do a little bit of snipping on this. See, that's taken up quite a lot of that now. See, I think I'm preferring my original, my simple version.
It looks fine.
It's fine, just work with it.
It's fine. You gotta see it through the end.
I have got to see it through to the end, yeah. I've got to eat my own words. So that's that. So yeah, it definitely is more chunkier. You get your chunkier borders. But let's see, it's this little part up the top here I'm not liking. So because it, I'm gonna see it through. I'm gonna see it through to the end. So right, let's stick this down one bit I do need, Jay, actually, is some more very vanilla, please, just so I can cut the circle out.
I think that's very vanilla.
Yeah, that is. Thank you.
See, on the table.
I don't know if you just heard that, but Jay, if you're a regular viewer of our channels, which a lot of you are, Jay whinged at me the other week, sort of saying, he asked for something, and I just I just hand it to him and wait for him to take it and don't put it on the table. So he's just made a point. There you go, and placed it on the table for me. And made a point vocally saying, there you go, it's on the table.
I nearly handed it to you.
You did, but I didn't. I chose not to take it.
Rude.
See, that's what you just got to do. Just choose not to take it. I want it on the table. Thank you very much. I'm not going to take it from your hands.
I'll try that next time.
I think the whole idea is that sometimes you don't want these curves to be perfect. You just want them to intermingle and flow, maybe. So we'll see, and that's how that's going to go. We will see what that's like. I'm going to now decide the circle, so I'm going to grab my circle out, bring in the Suki once more, and Suki has actually knocked the plate off. Jay, could you just pass that over for me? It's just falling on the floor down there.
That's what I have. Here you go. I handed it to you this time because you were waiting.
So we're going to cut this out. What's that? Sorry, Maureen, would there be any point in die cutting that?
Yeah, it's a good point. So instead of cutting your card layers to size, cut it down after.
Yeah, you could do once you've done that. That would probably work a lot better actually. Maureen.
The only thing is, because of the filigree design, your trimmer might snag your...
Yeah, you need to be careful when cutting the filigree design that your paper trimmer doesn't snag on it. But guillotine, if you've got that little mini guillotine from the joining offer a little while back, I think that was actually last year, wasn't it? Wow, last celebration. That a little guillotine would work lovely as well. But yeah, that's a very good point. You could actually leave them bigger so you can then position like that. Do I need to do that again now then?
It's fine.
So that, but yeah. No, I'm going to go with it as it is, but it's a good point. If you do want it to make sure that everything is running smoothly down the pattern, then you would start with don't trim it down to size to start off with, start with your larger piece and then trim it down afterwards. All right. So this is because I didn't actually do this as a prototype to start off with. I've just, I'm working on the fly on this one. So that's going to go in like that. So what have we got? Put the circle towards the area in question to disguise it. Yeah, okay. So let's work this out. Down like that. So I kind of need to turn that round, I think, like this. So that circle disguises just that little bit more down there. Do we get the thumbs up on that one? So it just hides that slight imperfection over here. So we will put the glue on that part there. See, there's always a way to correct something, isn't there? You can, and that's why I love you guys. You sort of like, you just you talk on the channel as well, and you input some ideas, and we're all, yeah, it's a lovely little community. So thank you very much. That's what we want. It's what we want to create. And we will then do the same over this one here. Some glue. And we will then try and get that part there as best as we possibly can. That's it. And then that circle will go down the bottom, down here, like that. So that's good. So that's that one. So we will do some stamping now. Grab my scrap bit of paper so I don't get our lovely table dirty. And make sure I stamp in the correct colour. So we take our shaded spruce again. And position a tree over where my fingerprint of cherry cobbler has gone.
Come on. It's okay, you have to share the page.
Like that. Now, my idea is, I just want to do something, to try something. I'm just going to stamp my Merry Christmas. I want to see what happens here. Twice. Yeah, I'm not sure, this is me just an idea I'm just working with at the moment. So depending on how well you can cut these out, I just want to cut the Merry Christmas out separately. On there. Before I stamped it on there, I wanted to see whether or not this idea worked. And if it doesn't, I will work with idea number 2, idea number 1. So we've got Merry Christmas, because I was thinking I could stamp the stars on here. But I need to see how this is going to work. The reason I stamped it twice is because I wasn't sure whether or not I was going to be able to get the Christmas and the Merry out of it nicely out of one piece. So that will go on like that. I will have my bits down here, potentially put some stars across that bit there, and then the Merry Christmas can go like that. Or have we got, is there a die for this Merry Christmas or a punch nicely for the Merry Christmas, Jay? Thinking about it. Does the label, I think it's too thin, isn't it? Or is there a die? What about in the labels one? Do you know the one I'm on about? That doesn't quite work. The labels dies. I've forgotten what stamp set it coordinates with. Do you know the one I'm on about?
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
Okay. There's another nice stamp set. Sorry, another nice die set. This one right here. So Tasteful Labels. So this is your stepped up. So if you've probably got something like this. So this might actually work. This one.
It's the rectangle stitch as well.
Yeah, could I have maybe the rectangle stitch as well, maybe, and see how this looks. So I'm just going to just do one over there. Let's see whether or not this fits. Look at that. Lyndall just sort of read your mind. She's just going to, I want a label stitched. So I'm not sure if this is going to work. It's just I'm just thinking on the fly at the moment. It's just as well Jay's not making a cut tonight. I just realised I've been on over an hour already. Yeah, that works nicely. That does fit that quite nicely. And it's, because it's stitched, it matches the sentiment nicely as well. So, we have got Merry Christmas, like that, cut out separately. We can have Merry Christmas on a banner, and then we could then stamp some, or the Merry Christmas could go down at the bottom of the trees like that. Potentially that then helps cover this area up down here just a little bit more. Because the magnetic plate, yeah, is not as we haven't got a magnetic plate at the moment. It's not as we've had a few issues with it.
It's been pulled.
It's been pulled basically, because there's a few problems with it. So we're not using it because it doesn't actually work as well as it should have done. So that's where I'm going to go, or you know what, I'm quite liking it down the bottom down there, and then we will then bring in some stars. If anyone's wondering what this is a tumble dryer sheet, which we have, which we put inside our DVD case. It keeps us smelling nice, basically. So because obviously it's wet, over time the moisture will make it smell. If you don't, especially if you don't clean it on a regular basis. But we do clean ours. Obviously, I have cleaned this recently, but it stinks sometimes. So a tumble dryer sheet in there makes it smell nice and fresh. A label on the top of the circle in the middle. Yeah, there you go, Lyndall. Just get yourself a tumble dryer sheet. You'll get rid of the stink. You can banish that stink. We'll take some shooting stars. So I'm seeing you're liking the banner, wherever I put the banner. So whilst I stamp my stars, do we like the banner in position 1? Like that. Position 2, like that. 1 or 2. So I'm going to pop myself some stars. One more thing, Jay. Could I have some Misty Moonlight, please?
What?
Ink, please. I'm just going to incorporate one more colour. Oh, we've got lots of twos. Oh, you surprised me actually. I thought you would go for number 1. Number 2 it is. So I'm using Misty Moonlight. I'm just going to see. I've got a prototype here which I tried earlier on the smaller square. Just going to see. Yeah, let's just have some. What have I done wrong, Joe? What have you done wrong? He's doing something. He's just going to all know in the background of himself. I've gone and.
No, it's my.
And we will have some nice shooting stars across the sky. Yeah, there is that as well. So clean that off. Lid on before I put my finger in it or drop something on it. So good. Let's go ahead and start to stick this down. So get your comments in. Jay has been writing all of your names down, and we will be picking a winner to receive the first card, which we made live now. And we will then be picking a winner to win this card on Wednesday. So if you want to win the card I'm making right now, you also need to get your comments in underneath the video. As we found out earlier on, you need to wait 12 hours. So it will need to go up until, 12 hours time from the time of this recording. So for us, it will be about 8:30 tomorrow morning. I think you can probably get it on. It might go. I've seen some comments go on sooner, but I think maybe as a rule of thumb, 12 hours is the rule. That then is going to go like that, and then that one there. So banner. So we had 1, but I think 2 was the.
Yeah, 2.
I think 2 was the winner, which was down here, wasn't it? Like that. And yeah, I think I saw a comment earlier on, it kind of looks like a snow globe, and I didn't pick up on that to start off with what you actually meant, but now I've done that down like that, I think you were kind of maybe referring to this part looks like a snow globe, weren't you? So yeah, I saw the comment come through, but I didn't quite take it in until I've just seen it myself, so good. So, all decisions. Very indecisive tonight. And then go with that one. Or go with that one flat and then that one up on dimensionals. Where did I put them? So I'm just going to I want to put some dimension on and then pop that flat. Yeah, I think I'm going to put this one here on dimensionals. I'm not going to double D it. A bit more on the sides because the side is where the weaker part is. And we'll just need to maybe just reinforce those edges just a little bit more. So I'm using loads here now, but I don't want my edges to dip. use it. I had to do it with my fingernails. What's the questions going on now? I'm seeing some things kind of saying thanks for the tips. What tips have I missed?
Steph mentioned about cleaning photopolymer stamps with warm water and soapy.
Okay.
Soapy.
That's that one there. So let's make sure I get the imperfection in the right area. That's going to go over like that. And because I've got those dimensionals on the edge here, it's nice, and I've got a couple in the middle. Make sure that doesn't sag. That can go in like that. Remember, I did have some gold, so I do just need to die cut one more sprig then. And the sookie one more time. Got a bit of gold going on here as well. I've got two from earlier on. Now, I'm really not doing well with my... Oh, there it is right there. With my mist tonight. I can't... I'm putting things down and obviously I'm not remembering where I put it. So we just cut the third sprig here. It's got this lovely pattern in it as well. I really like them. It's just, you can see it also embosses it ever so slightly, so it gives you a little bit of detail there. So I'm going to have some sprigs coming out the top here, so I'm going to take my tear and tape this time. And this one I'm going to stick directly to the back. Just like that. So those bits there stuck like that, and then a little bit here, and that can then come in down. So I just need to be aware of the that it doesn't stick outside of the card on this one, and obviously going on with my. So let's get my sentiment in place, and then I can then position the. So we are nearly finished, so thank you very much for joining, and we're going to be picking our winner very, very soon. So that's like that. This one here can be sticking out of my bit down the bottom down there. So I'm covering most of it up. I just want a little bit coming out just to give it a little bit of bling. And then that one there. Some glue on the back. We don't use tear and tape, actually, how it's designed to be used. And then that one can go down there, like that. And there we have it. There we have card number 2. So something completely different. So very similar. So that was card number 1, which was very simple. Just using the paper trimmer, a little bit of die cutting going on here. But again, you could use punches. You could use a circle punch, and you could also use the sprig punch as well if you haven't got a die cutter machine. So they are options that you don't need to go in for a big expensive machine. But if you have got a nice machine, so if you have got the Suki, then you can always step it up and you can go with something completely different here. So there we have it. So I think what we need to do, one more thing, we do need some glitter in these stars. So a little bit of Winker Stella and maybe some, just kiss those trees a little bit. And because it's liquid, it's going to pull some of that green out as well and just colour those trees in. And
oh, Minnie.
There we go, and that's it. So we've got our liquid glitter. Can you see that? Is that shining? Lovely and good save. Thank you for that little that save down there with that little bit of an imperfection of that not going. I think it works better. So good. What do you think? Has that given you got the thumbs up for that one? Lovely. All right. So Jay's going to come over now, and I'm going to get the feed ready, and we're going to pick a winner for card number 1. Card number 2 will be on Wednesday. So, and have you got anything to show, Jay?
Yeah, just cards for these.
So, yeah, so Jay's got some cards he's going to show you whilst I get the competition up and running. So
yes, Barry did really well with those 2 cards.
I'm so surprised.
Using the Curvy Christmas Stamp Set and the Classic Christmas Designer Series paper. Talking about Designer Series paper, if you haven't seen it already, we have the Flip It and Reverse It One Sheet Wonder on our YouTube channel for the Global Stamping Video Hop. So you may have seen this if you've seen the Facebook Live on Friday, but these are the projects that I created for that video hop. So do check that out. From one sheet of 12 by 12 DSP, you can create 9 projects, so 2 of each layout, 2 of each 4 designs, and the 9th one can be a card or an acetate box like this. So also don't just use your current ones, you can use your old Designer Series paper. Just keep in mind the color combinations that's in the Designer Series paper and use it for the sentiment. So this one is really simple. I have propped that up, but using the Well Said stamp set, I do love this paper. We haven't used it because it's so pretty, but I thought I'll cut it up. So yes, so those are that. So yes, so there's over 60 projects on that video hop, so do check that out. It's a great video hop for that.
So good. All right, so we are now going to pick a winner for this one right here. We are all set.
Cool.
All names are in. No, they're not.
It is now.
I'm pretty sure I could have sworn blind I copied them in. That's it. So,
sorry, I've got a mini on. Good luck, everyone.
The winner is going to be... Who is it?
Sandra!
Yay! That's cheap postage.
Congratulations!
That one there. Well done, Mum. She has won our card.
Cool.
So excellent. So that's good. So yeah, that one's nice and easy postage for that one.
You still need to email us.
You still need to email us if you want it. You're not getting it unless you email us. So excellent.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
please email us at barrynj@mitosocrafts.com if you would love to receive this card. And if you would love to be in the random draw for this card, do pop in a comment in 12 hours time. Thank you, Steph. On the actual video.
Good, excellent, lovely. Okay, thank you everyone for watching, and we will be back with you on Wednesday evening. See you later.
Thank you.
Cover your face.
Oh, sorry.
Trying to poke my eye out. You've got a dented card now, sorry.
No, it's
See you
fine.
later. Thank you.
Bye.